technical drawing. We are going to solve question 2b, and the question happens to be tangency, principle of tangency in technical drawing. So we look at the figure 2b. We are asked to draw in full size the given view showing all concentric lines. Very important, we show concentric lines. And where you start the diagram from is very important. So if you look at the figure, we are told that distance between two centers from this small circle and small circle, distance between them is 72. So to start this drawing, we start by drawing this horizontal line. So we can mark out 72 to the right and 72 to the left in order to draw these two circles. At the same time, at the midpoint of that 72, we can draw this circle and this circle. So there's something I want you to note. All this is a complete circle, even though it's not being shown. This is a complete circle. But it's not all the part of it they took in the drawing. Then, if you look at this point, this is also a complete circle. This radius 21 is also a complete circle. Here is also a complete circle. Then, if you look at the radius 33, it's also a circle. So I'm trying to establish a point by doing all these things. Here is also a circle, even though they are not being shown. So how do we achieve this? So what principle are we seeing? You can see this circle, this circle, this circle, and this circle. Both of them are touching externally. So we're going to apply the principle of external tangency to this curve. The same is also true here. The same is also true at this point. There's also a complete circle. Let's see, 3 of them are touching externally. There's also a complete circle. 3 of them are touching externally. So I'm going to apply the principle of external tangents by adding this radius to this radius, this radius to this radius to get the mark out point. So let's start by drawing it. So let us start by drawing this straight line and mark out 72 to the right, to the left, and 72 to the right. So I will do that by drawing a horizontal line. Ideally, I'm supposed to use T-square, but I want to use this ruler to do so. So let's draw out a straight line. So from this straight line, I will mark out, I will take a midpoint. So let me assume here as the midpoint now. Can mark anywhere as your midpoint. You just use your eye discretion. So here is 72. I also mark out 72 to the right. Here is 72. So if that has been done, what next? So let's start by drawing this circle. We are told that this circle has a diameter of 88. What is radius? We draw circle with radius, not with diameter. From mathematics, radius is diameter divided by 2. So if I divide 88 by 2, that will give me 44. So let's draw a thick circle of radius 44. So I'll use my pair of compass to do so. I will mark out 44 from my ruler. So let's mark out 44. Here is 0. I will extend it to 44 on the ruler. Look very well, that is 44, just close to 45. So at that point, I'll put it at the center here and draw a thick circle of radius 44. So let's do that. Let's draw a thick circle of radius 44. Make sure it's thick according to what the diagram required. So this is a thick circle of radius 44. So that has been achieved. So I will go further again. Then, like I said earlier, this circle here is also a circle, but it's incomplete. You can see it's incomplete. And what is the diameter of that circle is 116. What will now be the radius of diameter 116? I'll just simply press 116 divided by 2. That will give us radius 58. So I will draw another fence circle. This circle will not be thick because it's not complete. I'll make it a fence circle of radius 58. So after 50, close to 2 points before 60, that is 58. So I will draw a circle of radius 58. So let's draw a circle, or a fence circle, not thick circle this time because it's incomplete, of radius 58. So I will just use a fence without applying too much pressure. That will give me a fence circle of radius 58. So that is done. So if I go back to the question, you can see at this point, like I said, here is also a circle of radius 21. So at the end of the 72, I will draw radius 21 circle. Here is also radius 21. Like I said, it's not also complete. So first of all, I will use a faint line to draw the circle of radius 21. So to do that, I will mark out 21 mm. This is 21. One point after point 2. That is 21. I will now draw the circle, faint circle of radius 21. So let's do that. So this is the ending of 72. I will draw the faint circle there, radius 21, faint, not thick, because it's an incomplete circle. I will do the same thing here, radius 21, faint circle. That is it. Then what next? So if you look at 2 inside, we have 2 circles. Look at it. 25 diameter, 2 off. That is here and here, they are 2 the same dimension. The diameter is 25, which is radius 12.5. And the circles that complete is thick. So I will draw 2 circles of radius 12.5 on both points. So I will mark out my 12.5. This is 12.5. So I will draw those 2 circles there. So at this point, I will draw a thick circle of radius 12.5. So at this point, I will draw a thick circle of radius 12.5. That is it. Make sure it's thick. So at this point also, I will do the same thing, a thick circle of radius 12.5. So if that has been achieved, we are almost through with the drawing. What next? We have, like I said earlier, here is a complete circle of that 21. This radius 58 is also a complete circle. You can see 3 of them are touching externally. This is the 21, this is the 58, and this is the 33. You see, they are touching externally. They touch here and touch here. So this radius now is 33. So is this an external tangent? So I'm going to apply the principle of external tangent, which is 21 plus 33. That will give us 54. So I will mark out 54 cm. So I mark out 54 cm. So I will put it at this point, at this point here, to cut an arc here, and also cut an arc on this other side. Because it's the same radius we also have here. We have the same radius 33. So I will do the same thing here with the same radius 54. I'll put it at this point because I added it to this circle. That's why I'm putting it at the center of this circle. I will cut an arc here, also cut an arc here. Then, if you also see clearly, this radius 33 is also touching this bigger circle of radius 58. So 58 plus 33, that will give us 91. So I'm putting that at the center of this bigger circle, which is here. So I will mark out 91. This is 91. I'll put it at the center of the bigger circle I added, which is this point. Which is this point here. To intercept this first arc, you can see to intercept this first arc and this arc, I'll just say to you, intercept this arc and also this arc. So we now have a meeting point for the bisector of the 2 external tangents. We now have a meeting point. So the 2 meet here. The 2 meet at this point. The 2 meet at this point. They meet at this point, and they meet at this point. So with this point at center, I will now draw a circle, a curve of radius 33. So let's mark out 33 and draw. So I'll mark, this is now radius 33. I'll put where these 2 points meet, which is here, and draw a curve in this manner. See, it will just blend in perfectly. So I will do the same thing here. I'll draw a curve of radius 33. So just blend in perfectly. I'll do the same thing here. I'll draw a curve of radius 33. So make sure you are very careful while doing it. So I'll do the same thing here. I'll draw a curve of radius 33. So with that, I can now take in the circle, the bigger circle that is not complete. So I'm not taking from here down. So I'll put it back at the center, extend my radius to this point, and taking it to where I want. I will do the same thing on this other side. The same thing, I will take in the curve, the point needed. Now that is done, I'm also thinking this complete part of the circle and this complete part of the circle. So I'll put it at this point, extend my radius to that. I'm taking the curve. So I will do the same thing at this point. So this is now the construction of the tangent, but every circle must have a center. So I have to indicate it with a short thick line to indicate the center point. So I'll take my ruler to the center. I'll draw center lines because every circle must have a center. So I'll do the same thing here. I'll do the same thing to the center. You must indicate the center anytime you draw a circle, particularly when you are dealing with tangency. So this is the answer to the drawing in question 2A. So in our next video, we're going to answer question 2A. This is the drawing for question 2B. So thank you for watching. Support us by subscribing to the channel and watch more exciting videos. Thank you.